Hey guys, I'm Aussie Expat talking about watches. So, wearing the Panda Daytona today, not going to take that off for another like 6 weeks, so don't expect any changes there. So, following up on the Rolex releases at Watches and Wonders and Tudor, number one for you Tudor fans out there, looks like all the 80s have them already. They might not be in the case, but ask. If you've got a Tudor relationship, yeah, that's where things are these days. If you've got a Tudor relationship, you might be able to see them. Although they probably don't have that many. So last time I left off, there's a little bit of a dilemma for me. I have a couple of requirements this year for my next watch. One, it has to be an upgrade, as in higher than the Panda Daytona and preferably higher than a gold Daytona, because I already have one in our family's collection with my wife getting the gold Daytona. So something higher than that. With the previous generation, this could have been fulfilled in a number of ways, potentially a platinum Daytona, potentially a meteorite dial or a special dial, like maybe the John May. I'm not a fan of yellow gold, so that never really came up. Or potentially a gem set Daytona or gem set something else, although I'm not a really big fan of the gem set something else. Did consider the Pepsi GMT in meteorite. I do like it. I don't have a Pepsi. I don't have I don't have a GMT on Oyster. I think that would be a great one to add to the collection, but my wife doesn't like that watch, so whatever. So what does that leave me with now that all those watches are discontinued? Basically, in the previous gen, I didn't really want a Platona. It's a cool watch, no doubt, but honestly, it's very similar to this. It's basically a dial change and it weighs a lot more. So it wasn't offering enough difference to be worth, tying up any money into it, honestly. And there aren't that many candidates in the new stuff. So there's still the Pepsi GMT, which I already said is sort of off. I talked to my AD, and there was a sliver of opportunity that I could get the older Platinum Daytona if for some reason something happened, right, it becomes available. In all honesty, I already said no before I knew it was discontinued. If I said yes, I'd only be saying yes because it was discontinued. And I don't think that's really a good way to buy watches that you actually want to wear and enjoy. It would literally just be quote unquote an investment piece. And if it's an investment piece, it's like, okay, put it in the safe and never wear it. That's hardly a birthday present. And the other criteria is I'm turning 40, so this has to happen soon. I'm turning 40 in June. Now, I don't really mind, of course, if it happens at any point while I'm 40. So, maybe I've got like 15 months to get this done. But the reality is that once my birthday goes, I don't think my opportunity actually increases at all. So it either happens in the next 3 months, that's like 90% case, or the preceding, year, which would be about, less than 10% chance, if something happens at all. 90% chance is actually nothing happens at all. So I put my chance of getting anything at all at 10%, 9% it'll happen before June, and then 1% it happens after June. So really it has to be from the current catalog. I have seen the new gem set pieces that have been made immediately available on the Daytona, and I'm not a huge fan, and honestly, they're way outside of my price range. I could afford some gem set pieces, like I think an Arbo is about 130, 110, in that sort of range, right? While these new gem set pieces, my understanding is they're like 400,000. Not something I can swing, even if it was good value. Lo and behold, I also don't think they're good value. So it's like a double no for me. But the second no is irrelevant. I can't afford to spend $300,000-400,000 on a single watch. So really, I looked very hard at the new Platinum Daytona, and in other circumstances, it might not be my first choice, but right now it makes a lot of sense. It's clearly a step up from what I've already got in the collection. It being a new model Daytona, even though I like this model better, it is at least different than what I've already got. So it's not immediately redundant. And I do like it. I just don't think it's better. But in my collection, the new Platinum is better because it is different. It doesn't just look like a dial swapped, steel piece that happens to be heavier. And talking more clearly about the exhibition case back and the fact it's, an anniversary. So it's an anniversary for Rolex. It's my 40th. It's sort of a little bit of a match made in heaven. I think, I think the exhibition case back is significant, but as someone on stream the other day pointed out, it's kind of like a car manufacturer installing a sunroof for the first time. The actual technical achievement is, relatively pathetic, but it does represent a really big milestone for Rolex, and that's what's important. It isn't like you can buy an aftermarket $300 case back for any Daytona that has a sapphire on it, right? So the novelty itself, the literal embodied novelty of having an exhibition case back really isn't that significant, but it really is, the brand Rolex sort of exposing themselves, right? They're opening themselves up. It's a milestone. It's the first point at which they're sort of recognizing that, hey, maybe our movements are worth showing off, or at least we have to get to that level where they are worth showing off. So I did go and ask my AD, could I get one? And roughly the response is like, hell no, you're not even close. And I said, so there's a chance. Okay. Look, the thing that's, this release really worked out badly for me because I think I could have gotten something special in a Daytona, but with the discontinuation, there's just so much attention for anything that happens to still be coming by the door. Like if there's a straggling meteorite or a straggling John Mayer, the attention is like ratcheted up because these are the last ones that are going to go out the door. And certainly all the VIPs want the new stuff, right? So it's ultimately really bad, but we'll see. Ultimately, these are just luxury problems, and maybe by the time my birthday rolls around, I'll have a nice new knife, and I'll have a nice steak dinner with friends, and that'll be enough. All right, until next time, see you around.